Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, it would only take you a minute. Thank you. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold today. Right, what I want to talk to you about today is Amazon's review system and why it doesn't seem fair. Yeah, so I'm hoping to send this video on to Amazon to explain that there's a lot of people who aren't happy with the way the system is with their books, how the review system works, what's allowed and what's not allowed, and there's no way of getting things changed when they have gone bad and clearly wrong in a lot of cases. For example, one thing that really gets my back up, if you like, is the fact that if Amazon makes a mistake, say they've printed the pages upside down with one of your print-on-demand books, KDP books, and they've sent out the book with pages upside down, or marks on the cover, or damage to the book, or even damage during delivery, which is, again, their responsibility. If a review's left to say the book was damaged on arrival, or it's got wavy edges, or for whatever reason, or it didn't even arrive, and you get a 1-star review for that, I don't think that's fair. I think a review like that should be changed because it was Amazon's fault, not yours, and it's going to reflect on your business, on your future, even as an author, if it continues to happen. And it can destroy a good book. What others might want to read, and they'll see one or two bad reviews on how the book never turned up or was badly damaged when it arrived, and that's wrong. That's something that needs to be sorted out. But Amazon don't want to know these days. They have no interest. They say it's fine. It doesn't breach their conditions, really. And I suppose you can look at it from their point of view, whereas you've hired them in a way to publish the book and send it out, so you're responsible for the whole deal, even if they make a mess of it. And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just remove the review from a customer who wasn't happy, for them then to look in their reviews and find out the review's been taken off, maybe with no explanation as to why. And if they weren't happy, they weren't happy, and surely they're entitled to review. But it just doesn't seem fair. And, we're not talking about people who genuinely have a problem with your book. It's not enjoyable, or it's a load of crap. It's the spelling and the grammar is all over the place. Those kind of reviews are legitimate. They can have that review. Or I've only read so much of it, I couldn't stand it, I put it down, and left a bad review. Genuine reviews from genuine people. And I'm going to go over a few things here now from genuine people who have genuine issues with the review system. And I'm going to go through some of their comments, and maybe I'll comment on them. But they're really interesting. Maybe you've experienced something like this yourself, and maybe you agree that Amazon needs to make some changes there. And again, leave your answers in the comment, or your comments in the comments. And I'll probably end up sending this video over to Amazon if I can get enough feedback. So, or at least I'll contact them anyway. So let me just move this over here. Now, I've not left any names with these, obviously, but I've just taken the comments. So, title: Amazon refuses to make reviewers accountable. So everyone gets a bad review now and then, and I'm all for freedom of speech. The problem is that Amazon allows reviewers to hide behind pseudonyms, and they can say anything they please without any accountability. My reviewer deserved a libel and slander lawsuit. Amazon has ignored my pleas for help, and my reputation as an author and environmentalist, which has now been irreparably damaged My book sales are in the toilet. What I would like to see happen is that the reviewers should only have the privilege of posting using their real names. You know, people should use their real names if they've registered with Amazon and they've obviously registered with a real name. That's the name that should go with the review. And that seems a fair comment. And what do you think? I mean, leave a comment. Do you think they should be allowed to be anonymous? And it's the same with ratings. I feel the same way. You know, there's no names. There's no real anything. It's just a rating. You know, they say, well, you have to have bought the book to leave a rating. But a lot of people are doubting that. Bad review. I clicked on my book page today to find a review that gave me 1 star and said, I gave up before finishing the chapter. That's hardly fair. They should get a refund, but don't review. Now, the author might not be right in this. I mean, they've got the feelings. Everyone has their feelings about things, you know, what's fair and what's not. Everybody's different. But I feel that if somebody's read or not quite finished their first chapter and couldn't stand reading anymore, then leaving a bad review is fine. Is it worth a 1 star review because you didn't like the book? Well, no, I don't think so. I think it would have to have more into it than that. I think a 1 star, I mean, that's the pits. That really is the lowest. I think you'd have to have more than you didn't enjoy the story. It would have to be, well, there has to be other reasons. The grammar, the spelling, the book itself, the condition of the book, everything. There has to be a lot goes into it to get a 1 star. Whereas some people just give 1 stars, they either get a 5 or a 1. You know, there's people like that. Nothing in between. Either like it or they didn't. And regardless of how damaging that can be for the author. Deleting bad reviews. Is it possible to get rid of stupid reviews? I am happy to see honest reviews, good or bad, if they are genuine. I have 3 honest reviews on my work. The first a 5 star, the second a 3, and both with honest critical feedback. However, the third reviewer gave me a 1 star and just typed, stupid druggie. I don't understand that one bit because there are hardly any drug references in the book. Is it possible to remove the last review as it could send the wrong message about my book? Well, there's obviously more than one reference in the book because hardly any drug references doesn't mean one. So this person didn't really like all the drugs involved. Was it worth a 1 star? Well, you know, I've said before about 1 stars. I mean, you'd have to either really hate the person, hate the book and everything about it to get a 1 star. You know, even if you don't like the story, but it's written well or it's produced well, that'll take it up a star or 2. You know, so you know, 1 stars are severe. And I don't think, from what she said there, I don't think it deserves a 1 star unless there's more involved. But no, you're not going to get a review like that removed. Gutted, bad review, grammar, spelling and editing. Give us a break. I have just received a fairly bad review from a book I have just had on free promotion. Whilst the review says nothing about the content in terms of story, he condemns my writing style, grammar, spelling and editing. The book was my first novel, and as such I realise it was naive in part and will be the most poorly constructed of my 6 books available. But that does not stop the feeling of utter devastation and a hint of anger. Am I the only one who thinks it is unreasonable to read indie fiction and then pan the book for the one thing we indies find most challenging? We often do not have the funds to employ editors and professional proofreaders, which is why we don't feel it is right to charge the kind of money that published authors do in traditional sense. I make 29p per book. The reviewer or the reader isn't interested whether it's your first book, whether you're an indie author, whether you're a struggling author, whether, you know, or not you should be let off for bad spelling, grammar and that. They want a book. They expect a book, a high quality book. They don't expect a half-hearted effort or an effort on a budget, as this person says here. They expect a book. They expect a complete, professional, edited, proofread book. Now, if you can't produce that, then expect some reviews. Now, that review there, yeah, that's a valid review. It seems, because it sounds like the book was destroyed. Now, the author goes on to say, personally, I thought my book was formatted well. It reads fluidly and has only the odd spelling issue. Even though I sold over 8,000 books in 5 days and had only that single poor review, it is hard to take the optimistic view. And now I'm just expecting negative reviews to roll in. Well, I completely ignore that whole thing, because to sell 8,000 books in 5 days and have one bad, single poor review, I've lost it with that one. I think there's a problem there. It's not necessarily with the book or the reviewer. Can anybody write a review? I had a bad review from somebody who said that they had only read 10% of the book. It was a free book, and the reviewer didn't even like the description of it. I complained to Amazon, but they said the review meets their guidelines. They refused to remove it. Amazon seems to imply that you can write a review for a book even if you haven't read it. I have had my book given a 1 star by somebody who has not even read it. This affects my future sales. Unbelievable. I've always had faith in Amazon, but I'm losing that. How can I trust any reviews? It's a joke. 10% of the book is can be quite a chunk. If your book's 100,000 words, that's 10,000 words. That could be 2 chapters or a chapter. You could be well into the read before deciding what a load of crap this is. The spelling's all over the place. The grammar's all over the place. I really don't like it. And there's your 1-star review. And again, it would have to be bad. But a lot of people just have, like I say, 5-star, I loved it, 1-star, I hate it, and nothing in between. And that's unfair, but there's nothing you can do about it. A bad review by someone who has not read the book. Another one. KDP deliberately misunderstands my question. I have a book that, the moment it came out, exclusively on Amazon, it got a bad review by a reviewer who did not buy the book. So therefore, I could not have read it. While I agree that a review can come from anyone, I do not agree that you can get a review of a book, good or bad, if the reviewer has not read the book. Amazon refuses to answer this point, instead answering other points I have not asked, which is infuriating. This reviewer also could not have received the book via the friend system, as his review was too quick. Now, in my opinion, the author appears to be the target of someone. Now, they could have had a social media. The author could have had social media or website, and they've let out when the book is going to be released, or the fact that it has been released, and that hater has jumped on that and given them a bad review. Happens all the time. And really, there's nothing you can do about that, unless the reviewer has left a review without actually purchasing the book. Now, I don't like that. If that's what's happening, Amazon needs to be made aware of this, and something has to be more secure. The author, the reviewer, or the people leaving a rating need to have their name there. They need to have actually purchased the book. Not just maybe purchased it and sent it back the same day, or something like that. There has to be more involved than that. Now, here's another one from someone who believes that they're being followed or someone's hating on them. These reviews are killing me. At first, I thought I was being paranoid, but now I'm starting to believe someone has it out for me. Okay, when I received my first 1-star review, I realised that my book wasn't perfect. And by the time I received my 3-star review, I didn't stress too much because I was already shopping around for an editor to fix the mistakes outlined in the 1-star. When my editor finished with the book, I uploaded the new version and replied to the 2 comments. Yes, I know, I shouldn't have done. But I just wanted to let them know that I listened to their feedback and had the book edited. I also put a note under my description stating that it was updated and gave the date it was re-uploaded. So then 3 days later, I received another 3-star review, echoing the first 2 negative reviews. I had a different editor and 3 beta readers, 1 college English professor, look at my book, and they found none of the things this new reviewer found. Being the internal optimist, I just figured that it was maybe a residual review from the hundreds of downloads I received when the book was unfinished, and I let it go. So losing confidence, I again read through my book, made a few changes, uploaded another version, and added my update. Crazy stuff going on here. From what I get from it, well, first of all, when you give a book away for free, you've got more chance of getting bad reviews. It sounds awful, I know, but a lot of people like, not all the time, but a lot of people like to get the freebies just to leave a bad review. Or because it's free, they don't put any effort into reading it. It's like when you download music. You can listen to it or you can just turn it off. When you used to buy an LP or a CD, you cherish it. You look after it. You actually listen to the whole thing. You might listen to the whole album. But if you get something for nothing, you can switch it off. You don't get into it. You might not get into it as much. The same with television. When you used to buy a DVD for £3 or £4, you'll watch it even if it's crap. But if you flick through Netflix or something else like that, yeah, don't like this, 10 minutes into it, don't like this. That's what you're getting when you give things away for free. I don't give anything away for free, but that's just my choice. I understand why people do, because it can really work for them. I'll talk about that in another video. So this person is really trying hard to fix all the errors and keep uploading it, keep changing it. It's gone. Once you've published the book, sure, if you've got a few spelling errors, do an update, change them, but make sure you've caught them all at that point. Then don't do another one after that and another one after that. Don't change the story to suit someone else. The story's yours. So too many changes. Contact with, when you could, contact with the reviewer, and that's always a bad thing. That's going nowhere, because the chances of them actually reading your response is slim for a start. And then other people get to read your response too. So just don't respond. You put your book out there, it's had 1 star, a 2 3 stars, sorry, a 3 3 stars. Maybe the book's just no good, and leave it at that. Move on to your next one. 2-star wrong book. I once got a 2-star review, which was one of the best books I've ever read about deep sea fishing. The author has had great experience in this area, and I am glad he shared his knowledge. The author replied, not to him, he replied in a comment about this review. Firstly, she was a woman and not a he. And secondly, it was about child abuse, not fishing. Unless the abuse happened on a deep sea fishing trip, the reviewer really may have just got their books confused and reviewed the wrong one, maybe put the other review on the other one that maybe they purchased. It's really hard to say. But in that situation, yeah, there's nothing in there to say that review relates to that book in any way. So surely a review like that should be removed by Amazon. My worst 1 star. My worst 1-star was, my 6-year-old grandson writes better than this author. So many errors and not a good read at all. I will return this book as I found it not even worth the low price. But then for the same story, another reviewer left a 5-star. Well, there's nothing you can do about that either. Someone enjoyed it and somebody didn't, by the sounds of things. They left a review to say why they didn't like it. And you can only really take those points, the errors, and the way it was written, and move on to your next book and try to change things differently. There's nothing you can, you can't get Amazon to remove something like that, I don't think. Well, no, you're just not going to be able to. But as I've said before, not all bad reviews are bad reviews. And you can look at some reviews that are maybe a 2-star or a 1-star or 3-star and go, what are they talking about? And you can actually hope that anyone else reading them will go, I'm not carrying on reading that. And then you get the ratings, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star ratings with no names, no comments. Well, a lot of people ignore them too. I want to keep pushing Amazon to try to do something about the fact that if they've delivered a book and it's damaged, and they've produced a book which is damaged, it's their fault. And I'm hoping that something can be done in the future to help other people, where Amazon starts taking these sort of concerns seriously, a lot of them anyway, regardless of what I think. People are genuinely upset and they're concerned, they're bothered. It's affecting their writing. It's affecting whether they're going to continue to write or earn any money or not. And it's quite sad. So leave some comments. Have you had any bad reviews? Do you feel like some of those bad reviews should be removed by Amazon? Yeah, I'm sure if we can get enough of these comments together and I present this to Amazon, maybe they'll start looking into it a little bit better and giving some authors a chance that deserve it, that they deserve the reviews to be removed because they're not genuine. And that's a fact in a lot of cases. So yeah, tell us what you think.